Good morning, everyone. My hair is a mess. I don't know. Woke up and it's just a mess. I washed it yesterday, so I guess it's just like all the hairspray. I don't know. Today was the Oscar nominations. That's why I'm up early and why I didn't record this yesterday. I'm not going to talk about those, but if you're interested in my opinions on the Oscar nominations, tune in to the Matinee Dash CA's podcast. We're recording tomorrow night. I think it's probably going to go up on Monday. I will post about that on the site. It'll be my 5th year discussing the Oscars with Ryan from the Matinee, so that's exciting. So anyways, the reason what I'm talking about right now is the American Cinematheque's 10th annual Focus on Female Directors event that I went to last night, which showcases films from emerging filmmakers. And there was one film from someone who's not emerging, but it was a rare short. So I'm going to talk about them all in one sort of really quick go. Here's the list. And there was a really nice reception afterwards, at which I saw Renee Auberjonois, a.k.a. Odo from Deep Space Nine. It was kind of amazing. So the first film was Gina Prince-Bythewood's Bowl of Pork. Gina Prince-Bythewood directed Love and Basketball and Beyond the Lights. And if you didn't see Beyond the Lights this last year, you're the problem, and you should rent it when it comes out next month. So it stars Dave Chappelle as a Forrest Gump-esque character who satirically is the reason behind the Rodney King riots and is the person who framed O.J. Simpson. It's very funny. Very funny. That was followed by Torel Kove's Me and My Molten, which was a great animated film set in Norway, I think. Yeah, set in Norway. About 3 girls whose parents are modernist architects and they're causing them strife. And it's really cute, and that was a great film. Animation, man, I can't do that. And then they showed 2 films by Amy Lee Ketchum. One was Dreaming Los Angeles, which was this animated thing sort of inspired by Italo Calvino's Invisible Cities. And it was made in conjunction with the Echo Park Film Center, and it was quite interesting, sort of a mesh of what LA is through surrealist animation. They also showed her thesis film from USC called The Awakening, which was sort of a Busby Berkeley-esque short with stop motion animation, and it was fucking amazing. Art Deco gloriousness. Then they showed Alexis O. Korinsky's The Haircut, which is set in the 70s, and it's about the first class of female cadets at the military academies in 1976. And it was really well made, and they are hoping to develop it into a feature, and I really hope that happens because it's such an interesting story. And as far as I know, I don't think there's really been anything made about that first class of women, and that's definitely a story that should be told, and should be told from a female perspective, for sure. That was followed by Rekha Bushi's Symphony No. 42, which was from Hungary, and it was really weird. It was 47 scenes of various animals, according to this, taking on human emotions, but it was just so surreal and so weird, and there were moments where you were laughing really hard, and then something really dramatic would happen, and you're like, was I supposed to laugh? I don't even know. And it was just really fun, bizarre film. I think it's on Vimeo. You can watch that. Then we watched Rose McGowan's Dawn, which it was her first film, I believe, and it premiered at Sundance last year in their shorts section. It was a pretty interesting meditation on being a lonely girl and a teenager and the 60s, and I definitely can't wait to see more from McGowan as a director. She definitely has a point of view and a voice. And she announced that she yesterday signed paperwork for to direct her first feature film, so that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Then we watched a very strange music video called Big Money by Lydia Hyslop, and it was really fun. I love the 80s, so that really worked for me. And then it sort of ended in like a Videodrome-esque moment, which is always good. The penultimate film was Daisy Jacobs' The Big Picture, where she used 7-foot tall characters to actually animate this crazy story about 2 brothers taking care of their dying mother, and it looks like it's all painted. I don't know how they did that. It was amazing. And then the final film was Helen Hood Shear's The Apothecary, which is a documentary about a man living in Colorado in a small town with 1,000 people, and the town's dying, and like he's the only pharmacist, and there's no doctor, and there's no emergency room, and it's just nuts. The town sort of reminded me of my hometown. It was kind of creepy. So that was the 10 films. And then there was a discussion with Helen Hood Shear, Alexis O. Korinsky, Amy Lee Ketchum, Lydia Hyslop, and Rose McGowan afterwards. And they had, it was interesting to see what they had to say. And the last question they ended on, which was the question I was going to ask if someone else didn't ask it, so I'm glad someone else did, was, because they were all talking about men and male directors, if they did mention a director. And so a woman asked, can you name a female director that has inspired you? And each one of them had a really interesting, unique woman whose work inspired them. And it was just a really great night to really see the beginnings of someone like Gina, and then knowing where she's headed, and then seeing the 8 other shorts from beginners who are going to go off and make great things. And every time they were like, hopefully, or maybe, the moderator was like, no, you will. You will. And I was like, yes, be positive. You will. You will make those films, and I will be watching them, and I will tell people to watch them, and people will watch them, and we will make this place a better place to live. So that was that. I'm really grateful for that. That event even existed. So thank you, American Cinematheque, and it was a good times. And don't forget to check out the Oscar podcast on Monday at the matinee.ca. We can argue. It'll be beautiful.